Well. Shuwa the roll call?
Eiji Tsuburaya, the man who created something from nothing. Godzilla. Ultraman. But when those who don't give his franchises enough credit, these podcasters will do it justice. For they are...
Kaiju Sentai UItraranger!
Lover of all things Ultraman. Ultra Yellow Canister, gone.
The other son of Belial, Ultraman Lane!
Spreading the love on one of Japanese beloved franchises.
Kaiju Sentai UItraranger! Shuwa!
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to episode 74 of Kaiju Sentai UItraranger, the podcast where we talk about Ultraman's past, present, and future, Godzilla, and all kaiju in between. I am your host, Ultra Yellowcaster AutoGar.
And I'm your co-host, Ultra Pinkcaster Lane. So, now that we've moved on from Ultraman Rube, I think it's time we can move on to finishing the rest of motherfucking Ultraman X. And I've already done this before, but I'm going to do it again because I like doing this.
Alright.
God, I love that fucking song that goes with his transformation.
And yes, so if you didn't listen to episode 73, which I understand if you didn't.
Yeah, if you're listening to UItraranger for X and not for Rube, then 73 is not the one for you.
No, but no. As we mentioned, episode 73, we are currently recording episode 73 and 74 back to back with one another. So we just finished talking about the Ultraman Rube discussion, so we are now moving on to episodes 21 and 22 of Ultraman X. And as our featured discussion, we'll be talking about the Ultraman X movie.
And just X overall as a series.
And X overall as a series.
This might be a long one, this might be a short one. We don't know yet, but...
It'll probably be an hour, since there is no news stories.
Or 2 hours, who knows.
I don't want to do 2 hours.
I don't mind talking about X for a while.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, okay, yeah, so...
On to X! Alright, episode 21 and 22. A Beautiful End and the Rainbow Land.
So...
Stoop Kid left to stoop!
So first off, again, as we talked about in episode 73, because we fucking didn't realize.
Yeah.
So the characters, Chiaki and Takaru, you know, the two people who sit in the far back of the Zeo, like, main hub.
Or the very front.
Or front, whatever. I don't fucking... No, I'm pretty sure they're in the back.
Are they in the back or
they're
the
always
front?
They're always in the back of the fucking thing. I'm pretty sure. And so, you know, they're the characters that just, like, they're there, they read out whenever, like, Kaiju's approaching or Dark Thunder energy signals happening. And we're like, you know, we've made fun of them. Said, like, why the fuck did they just stay in those chairs the whole time? Why don't they go anywhere? Why don't they do anything? Why haven't they never had a single episode dedicated to their characters? And then we didn't realize that, oh, they're the performers for the opening and ending themes of Ultraman X. They're the band Voyager.
Oops.
Fuck. But... it's okay, because we complained. They're like, oh, they never come out of their chairs. We've never seen them fucking go anywhere. Nope! They fucking stood up out of their chairs.
Yeah, they finally stood up out of their chairs.
And Weird Beak are just like, oh my god!
They did it!
We did it! So everything in Ultraman X doesn't fucking matter, because Chiaki and Takaru
Got out of their
Got out of their chairs. And later in the finale,
they help out.
They leave the building. They actually get their own Ultraman fucking Ultra lasers, and they actually fight.
Keep firing, assholes.
So, again, Chiaki, Takaru, we apologize.
Yeah, we are so sorry.
You guys make great songs. Like the Ultraman X theme is fucking good. It's badass.
I'll be getting to the ending theme later in the episode.
Yeah. So pretty much episode 21, a beautiful end. It's basically Daichi trying to, like, he found that his mother was trying to contact him, so he's trying, like, to contact his parents.
But that's when he learned, like, in the two-parter, because 21 and 22 are a two-parter, Daichi finds out that the voice that he's hearing of his mom was from 15 years ago.
Yeah, so it kind of sucks to assume that they're gone.
That they are gone.
Like, they're not probably dead, but they're just stuck in a dimension where they can't leave. Like, they can't get out. So, it's very, very heartbreaking to come to that realization that just, like, Daichi will never see his parents ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, when you put it that way, it sounds freaking depressing.
Yeah. So then, like, what's interesting is X actually puts himself on each of the Zeo members' divisors, and, like, that's where Kamiki, like, finally, like, kind of puts it together, being like, well, if you're summoning yourself, like, on all our screens, like, this must be serious. He's like, yeah, no. Grisa's no fucking joke. So we get introduced to the final bad of this season. Grisa. So remember that purple ball of light that X was fighting in the very first episode and you knocked him into the fucking sun? That's him. This is this guy. Mm-hmm. So he's finally fucking back.
Because apparently being tossed into the sun is just a 15-year vacation.
Yeah, so he got his tan on. He got some sun. Major sun. No amount of suntan lotion will fucking save you from that.
I feel like that's a Game Grumps reference.
Nah, I don't know.
I don't know, Gar. Sometimes I can just make up things.
Wizard did it better. Fucking kicked Phoenix into the sun and just kept dying and coming back and dying and coming back and he's just eternally going to be like that forever.
Yeah, I like the Galaxy Orbs finale that I wrote.
Everything has to come back to Galaxy Orbs, doesn't it?
Yeah, the dark... I can't remember what I named... the big bad at the end. Basically, like, they shoot... It ends with a laser battle, and they shoot him... Since the final battle takes place on the moon, they fire him straight into the sun in the middle of a solar eclipse. Mm-hmm. It's cool. But yeah, Grisa.
Goddamn, this guy's fucking cool looking. He like... I kept thinking this the whole time. He looks like Zeton, like Alien Zeton. Or not Alien Zeton, like Space Dinosaur Zeton. If he was just, like, in a spacesuit. Mm-hmm. Like, so if he was just, like, I call him Ryan Griesling.
Ryan
Griesling?
Griesling?
Because it reminded me of, like, the first, like, what's it called? The First Man or something?
First Man.
Yeah, First Man with Ryan Gosling, where he plays Neil Armstrong, who's the first man went on the moon. So, I don't know why, I just, like, immediately thought that. I was like, yeah, it's Ryan Griesling.
It's Ryan Griesling. No, and according to Dr. Gorman, Grisa is made up of nothing.
This guy's nothing. Like the source of the Dark Thunder energy comes from nothing.
Like, apparently his energy is so, like, I want to say it's because of his type of energy, where it's just, Grisa doesn't really have a form.
Yeah, it's whatever you interpret it to be.
In which, guess they're all... choose the form of what your master may come of. Alright, everyone just think happy thoughts. It's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Not just... Daichi?
What did you do?
Wataru, did you think of anything? Haito, did you think of anything? Asa, did you think of anything? I didn't think of anything. Just look over at Rui. Rui? I thought the most...
Innocent thing
I could think of. Zeton.
I'm sorry, but Grisa now looks like a giant dildo.
But God, just the way it moves, the sounds that come from this thing, like it has like this weird, like kind of like screamy laughter, and it's like
Sounds like a child.
And it's like moving all like sporadically and just like everywhere, and he phases in and out, and like he has this awesome fucking beam attack where he just goes like, and then just boom.
Yeah, it's like an orchestrated song, like
and
like,
just this, yeah, it's just this giant, like it kind of has like, because like Zeton kind of has a thing like that too, right?
Yeah, it's like
so like I'm pretty sure that like Griza is like a kind of reference to Zeton.
I feel like he is, because this whole entire series, Ultraman X, is a homage to the original Ultraman series, where there is no actual main bad guy, there is no actual plot, it's just an episodic series.
Yeah, and like, you know, they can't tell his group or whatever, like he's Ultraman X, so
which, it's like, then you have Griza, it's like something we can't even actually hit, if you think of it that way.
Yeah, and so like Hayato and, Wataru and Mamoru go to like investigate it in space or whatever like that, and they find like this ball of light, and like they disappear, and we think like they died or like they got sucked in or something like that, and like you see like Rui and Hayato are like really upset because like, you know, they're friends, so they don't want to lose them.
He ate them.
So then Dr. Garman, he like scans it. He's like, yeah, like literally, there's nothing there. Just what we're looking at. That's the interpretation of what we're trying to find. Like that's how we see it. So we just see it as this.
That's dope.
Yeah. So then so Daichi like goes to like go fight this thing.
Which, that's when Daichi reveals his identity with Asuna and everyone else.
Because he like gets out of the vehicle and he's like running towards Griza, and like Asuna's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's like, "All right, fine." Just keeps running, transforms into X, and just like Asuna cannot fucking believe it. She's like, "Oh my god!" And she tells everyone like, "Yeah, Daichi's X," and you can just see in all their faces alone, all of them are like, "Oh my god, it makes sense now why like Daichi like sometimes during missions just like ran off and we didn't see him for a while."
It would have been funny if, like, again, in a parody series, just Hayato, yes, I won $5.
Yeah, there's just like, fucking goddamn it. Damn. Now it's like Walter comes back. What? You owe me $5. What? Daichi was X. God damn it!
Really?
I thought it was Rui.
I thought it was Mom. I thought it was Tucker. He doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything. Oh, we're sorry, Voyager. We love you.
Hands up, cash.
Hashtag we love Voyager. Oh my god.
But yeah, just X just wants to like kill Griza, because like, keep in mind, before even reaching Japan, Griza crashes in Nevada and destroys that base.
Yeah, the Zeo base in Nevada. Like, wiped out. Like nothing's there.
Apparently, it killed, like, everything in the 1 kilometer radius. It's just, everything is gone. It's floating towards the Japan base, because that's where they keep all the Spark Dolls.
Yep.
Because then, you know, it's Japan. They make the show, so it makes sense for them to be attacked. That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
But, the American Zeo team tries to solve it by just shooting at it.
Yeah, like they do what Americans do best, which is just
kill it with guns.
Shoot first, ask questions never. So they just fire a bunch of Perseus missiles at it, and like nothing's working.
Nothing's
phasing
it.
Yeah, this thing's like dodging like fucking like a Dragon Ball Z character.
It's absorbing the attacks.
Yeah. So like that's the terrifying thing about this fucker, is that he can absorb like anything.
And it's not like he's bouncing it back. No, he just absorbs it.
And gains more power.
Yeah, it's like... shit.
So, like, eventually, like, X starts fighting him, whatever, like that, and then X gets absorbed by him.
Yeah, but before he does get absorbed by him, Hayato goes out in the Sky Musketi, and Asuna sends out Cyber Gomora, and thus... Yeah, all 3 of them get their asses kicked.
All of them get their asses kicked.
They all die.
Because you're fighting nothing. Like, so you can't beat nothing.
I feel like it's not really they're fighting nothing, but they're fighting just...
They're fighting the whole source of the Dark Thunder energy.
Yeah.
And, like, if the Dark Thunder energy is already, like, a single lightning bolt of it is enough to like power up a kaiju and make it a problem, then the entire thing that energy is based off of, that's almost unstoppable.
Which, sorry to bring this up again, but it kind of does remind me a bit of the stupid Mario Brothers movie, where it's like when Wario killed off the main antagonist at the time, the Darkness. Like by the end of the movie, when the character comes back, and it's like, well, now that the darkness has dissipated, everything will go back to normal. It's like dissipated, and it's like, well, yeah, you guys turned them human before you killed them, right? And it's like, no, it's like shit, because basically it's like he doesn't have a physical form; he's just matter taking on the form.
Yeah.
So it's like, I kind of like that in villains, where it's like, or like in antagonists in a way where it's like, they aren't really like they're not really a physical being. They're just what everything takes a form of. Hell, I did that with the concept of my villain named Cloak, where he was just like, in the revised vision so far, he was just a piece of fabric made by the gods in which he gained like
sentience.
Yeah, sentience.
Yeah. So
it's like now he's just like, he's like his own being, which he can turn into like particles.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so X gets absorbed, like Daichi along with him, whatever, like that, and then just like all that like remains is X's color timer,
which we didn't know he could do that.
Yeah. So he gets like Daichi's alive still, and he gets like trapped in like, I guess X's like pocket dimension or something.
I want to say it's like a void,
but it's where like he is when he's inside X.
Yeah.
So he's inside X. So like X is nowhere to be seen or whatever like that. So he's like dormant or something like that, or he's gone. So then like so then we move over into the finale, and
the Rainbow Land.
Yeah. And so like Asuna decides like, I'll go like upload myself to this machine, and I'll go find Daichi and bring him back.
But Rui, who's with her all the time, saying like, oh yeah, but like if your brain waves like go into like the caution levels, I have to bring you back.
Which that does almost happen, but then like Asuna's just subconscious, just kind of like she's about, like Rui's about to press the button, and just like the arm grabs Rui's hands. Like, no, I'm almost done.
I almost have him.
Yeah. Oh, so we made a joke where like Takaru and like Chiaki like get up from their seats, and just like when like Kamaki was mobilizing everyone, and just like I made the joke, Kamaki's just like, no, you two sit the fuck back down!
Oh yeah, because everyone had to leave the area, so it's just like the crew members.
So they're about to leave, and just like I made the joke, Kamaki's just like, you sit the fuck back down right now, and they're like, oh, yes sir.
What do you guys do on your spare time? Oh, we write music.
We made a theme song for X.
Oh, that's stupid. There's Paul guitar.
Cut that out! Yeah.
It's like a Family Guy. Steven, put that hat away.
Oh, God.
But yeah, it's like everyone is now trying to defeat, I almost said Sarah's, Grieza.
Grieza!
Freaking sounds like freaking, you know who it sounds like? Sounds like Frieza's mom's name. Grieza! I can't remember. It was King Cold, right?
Yeah, King Cold was his dad. Cooler was his brother.
Right.
And then there's Chilled.
And then there's...
And the ancestor.
Yeah. And then there was Freeze. Or no, not Freezer. Cool. No. Frost.
Frost was
the alternate universe
Frieza.
one.
God. Such an asshole. Like, it sounded like he was such a good guy, and then just, like, the whole time he's spouting about all this shit, I'm just sitting there just being like, no, you're Frieza. Friezas are always the fucking same, no matter what universe they come from. They're pieces of garbage.
But, like, they even meet him, and, like, he sounds like Frieza, and they're like, oh, fuck.
Ah, god damn. And just, I know you have a fucking final form, show it. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I know you have a final form, just go do it now. And he's like, alright.
The funniest thing is that in the Tournament of Power, like with all the universes Battle Royale, we do get a scene of Frieza talking to Frost. And since it is the same VA, it just sounds like he's having a conversation with himself.
Yeah, that must be fucking amazing.
But anyways, yeah, back to X. The Zeo team of all the members except for Dr. Gorman, they're all just firing ultra lasers at him.
Oh, Mamoru's got a bazooka when he gets back.
Yeah, Mamoru and Watcher come back. It's like, oh yeah, we crashed on the dark side of the moon. Why didn't you guys fly back like ASAP?
Well, maybe the ship was like damaged at first.
Or maybe it had to recharge.
Yeah.
But basically, they fly back and it's like they're firing and stuff. But Grieza gets his hands on the Spark Dolls, and he turns them all into like the Dark Thunder energy version. So you have EX Red King, you have
EX Gomora.
Yeah, EX Gomora. Yeah, EX Gomora. Who else we got here? We got like King Guesar. But basically, all the kaijus that were in the series, they get absorbed into Grieza, which he then turns into like this perfect form type of thing.
Yeah, and like, holy shit, that thing was terrifying. And he has like all the abilities of fucking all the kaijus, and
That
just
he
like,
absorbed.
Jesus fuck.
Wait, well, Asuna
Asuna.
does find a way to bring back Daichi, basically by talking about how like his hopes and dreams aren't stupid or meaningless.
Yeah, she's like, I thought at first that like what you wanted to strive for was impossible, but then you made me realize that like, you know, it could be.
Dreams do come true.
Yeah, so that kind of like wills Daichi back, and then Daichi, like thinking about it too, brings X back.
Oh yeah, well, I make the joke that Captain Kamiki, because right before X comes back, he's like, Daichi X, come back to us. Then Ultraman X comes back. It's like, sorry, I came back. Captain's orders.
Yeah, Captain's orders.
But it's like, yeah, but like, so X mentions how like Daichi's will of hope and dreams brought him back.
Mm-hmm. His feelings.
Yeah, his feelings.
I have feelings. So then, yeah, he like turns back into X. Goes Exceed X, and then like starts fighting Grieza, and
he finds out about the kaijus inside of Grieza. So what does he do? He impales the fucker with the X-Lugger to release all the Spark Dolls,
and then turns them all into fucking cyber cards.
Yeah, because then he absorbs all of them.
Yeah, which I didn't think he could do.
Which imagine like a Giga Drain type of attack.
Yeah. And then he just turns them all into cyber cards, and then there's this awesome fucking shot where he just like kind of puts them all in the X divisor, and you just see all the cards just go like doo, and just in there, and then he combines all of his like cyber armors of like all the different kaijus into like one giant fucking like hybrid of armor, and it's called like, I think it's called the hybrid armor.
Yeah, it is Ultraman X hybrid
and
armor.
that shit's fucking cool, man.
And it doesn't use like all the other ones, but it uses
parts.
It uses parts. Like you got Gomora's
chest,
like,
and then
Gomora's
Zeton's arm, Bemstar's shield, and Ella King's shoulders.
So it's like a hybrid of like the 4 forms that he had.
Yeah.
And he uses the X-Slugger as well, in which he uses the ultimate Zendium ray, fires it at
Grieza.
And just impales him again with the X-Slugger.
And just the explosion that comes from
He
Grieza.
implodes into himself.
Yeah, but it's beautiful, and then makes like these like ring of rainbows, and it's fucking beautiful.
Which, the only way that I can think of it is as to how could he destroy something that wasn't there? But if you think of the abilities that the X-Lugger has, where its ability is to remove energy, so when he absorbed the X-Lugger, it probably, like, reversed the polarity.
Yeah, because like we find out that like the parents had the X-Lugger like the entire time or something.
Yeah, they had it in the past.
Yeah, so like the mom was like realizing like it was glowing because like X was there or whatever like that, and then just unfortunately got caught in the dimensional rift. But yeah, sadly they're gone. So like, but yeah, so the next defeats it. They all like. Kamiki like immediately goes like, all right, well we gotta start cleaning up, guys. And Mamoru's just like, really, like, come on.
Can we have a little bit of a break?
Yeah.
I mean, we just defeated a monster, Daichi. Mamoru, I am right fucking here. I died for this, you asshole.
Yeah, fuck you.
You shouldn't fucking complain.
Fuck you.
Yeah, it was basically just, fuck you.
Mamoru, fuck you.
You know what? Really, it's my turn tonight. Yay!
And like that was it. So it kind of ends with just them.
Yeah, the show does actually just straight up end.
But it like goes into the movie or whatever like that, pretty much. So.
But yeah, but it ends with a beautiful shot of the sky where it's like double rainbows.
There's rainbows everywhere.
And double rainbows everywhere. And just like the screen goes to black and it just cues to credits. And I'm like, oh. Okay, the show actually ended. I did not remember this.
So now we'll talk about Ultraman X the movie. Here comes our Ultraman. So yeah, it's a reference to the theme song.
Yeah, the original theme song.
So this movie begins with
5 minutes
of just like recapping a bit of the show.
No, not a little bit of the show. The entire show.
Yeah, and I'm just like sitting here being like, are you sure you didn't just put on episode 1 of X?
I'm sure. But yes.
In case you forgot.
Yeah, in case you forgot, the Ultraman movies usually come out after the show ended, in which the show... Sorry. Ultraman X, the movie, came out in March of 2016. So this movie is heavily hyping up the 50th anniversary of the franchise. So which there's... The movie is basically a crossover between the original Ultraman and Antigua with Ultraman X. And to explain everything, it would be hard, but Ultraman and Ultraman Tiga, even though they do appear in this movie, they aren't the actual Tiga and Ultraman.
Yeah, they're like X's version of Ultraman Tiga.
Yeah. So which the movie properly begins with Dr. Goraman talking about how, there's a myth of the first giant of light, in which he's referring to Ultraman.
Yeah.
And how it's like, he's up in space still fighting and all that, in which he created a device that could possibly call upon Ultraman, which he created a Beta Spark. Mm-hmm. Or Beta Capsule, sorry.
Yeah, and then Dr. Gowerman like attempts to fucking transform into Ultraman using the Beta Capsule. It blows up like the whole lab. And like I actually thought like Rui and Mamoru were dead, and I'm like, oh my god, but they were fine. Mm-hmm. And he's
it's not that he tried to transform, he tried to call upon the original Ultraman.
Oh, okay.
As like a beacon type of thing.
Oh, okay.
But it didn't work.
So yeah, and then we also get this shot of just like Ultraman just like on a moon or something like that, and he's fighting a bunch of alien Boltons. And like so like he has the ability to like apparently alien Bolton has like the ability to duplicate himself. Mm-hmm. So just every time he defeats a Bolton, like 2 more take his place or whatever, and then you just hear them all go like I'm just like, oh my god.
Everyone remix that.
Yeah, everyone knows Alien Bolton. So, and then it just cuts to like a cool shot of just like Ultraman like just going like sure. And then flashes white. So yeah, so we get introduced to this character like they're trying to find like I guess like Tiga or Ultraman or something like that.
There's a archaeological dig going on in the pyramids that are in Japan.
I didn't know there were pyramids in Japan.
Well, it's like ancient
temples.
Yeah, ancient temples in Japan, in which Daichi, who's been gone for like a few months, because the movie mentions a few months have passed since the attack on Griza. Daichi and Asuna go to the temple where they meet up with a little kid, his mother, and the best person ever, what was his name? It's right here. Carlos Kurosaki.
Yeah, so this like adventurous celebrity, and
oh boy,
like Gar watched the dub, so he thought that was just the dub calling him that.
No, keep in mind, I watched the dub like 2 years ago now.
Damn, that long ago?
Yeah. Oh my god, I feel old. I'm joking, but so Captain Kurosaki, archaeologist.
Archaeologist.
The archaeologist Tsukasa Tamaki and her youngest son Yuto. They follow Daichi and Asuna into the cave, they follow Carlos into the cave, in which they find Ultraman Tiga.
Yep.
And the statue, or like in stone. It's like, well, shit. What do we do? And in the cave, there's a little like shrine that says, "This is basically something about 3 lights connecting with one another."
Or the dub it would have been.
He's the one 10 stories high, save the world, Ultraman.
That would just be amazing. It'd be a nice little reference if the dub did that.
But they steal like the little emerald thing that was in the cave, and then hell breaks loose. Like legit, hell breaks loose.
The manifestation of hell.
The Devil Beast Zygorg, the movie exclusive monster. For the movie.
He's okay, I guess. I wasn't, like, impressed with him. Like, he's not Grieza, he's not Lucasite, like, he's not Gomora.
He's definitely no Gomora.
Gomora is amazing because of how plain simple he looks, so.
Where, Geysorg, he had, like, a red type of design.
He had, like, a club hand, and...
He definitely tried to look like a satanic, like, monster.
Yeah. And he's pretty strong.
He beat up Exceed X pretty easily.
Well, because fucking X went Exceed X like almost immediately, and it's just like, you don't do that. I shouldn't be fucking yelling at you right now, bud.
You don't go final form, but it's a movie. I don't care.
I don't give a shit. 0. You're gonna grade 0.
Hey, you get minus 60 points for going final form in the first fight of the movie.
So they bring like the mother and then back to the lab. So then the mother does a funny thing where she goes up to Kamiki and it's like, "Oh, Captain Tachibana, thank you for like everything you've been doing for us." And he's like, "I'm Kamiki, that's Tachibana." And I'm just like thinking like, "Oh God, he plays a character named Tachibana like a year later in Resistance." So I'm like, that's fucking funny.
I'm just thinking, I'm Kamiki. Can you see the giant name tag? With
she was like in a moment of like panic. Yeah. So, and then they introduce the kid to Dr. Norman when she turns around and he goes like, "Ah!" He's just like, "Ah!" And like Rui's like, "You fucking idiot! Don't scare him like that. You have a big ugly face." And he's just like, "Hey, on my plan, this is fucking handsome face."
And she's like, "Yes, it is. You guys had sex, didn't you?"
Oh, I'm pretty sure Rui and Dr. Garman have done
I feel like Rui would be that weird chick that like you're like, oh yeah, she's kind of cute and such, but then you find out like
she has like a dark, fucked up, twisted, weird sex side.
Yeah, it's like the weird kinks that she's into. It'd be like,
roar at me some more. Slap me with your tail. What?
Do you want to gag me?
Do you want to use your Ossium Ray on me? What? Like, what? Oh my god. And Rui this whole movie too, and like in X, like the finale, she was fucking great.
Oh, Roger Dodger.
Yeah, she kept saying like Roger Dodger, like that's how the subs translated to her. And then like she'd like she drove the Muschetti herself one time. She'd like deliver, I think it was like what, the Ultraman cards or something?
Yeah, no, she had to bring Yuto back to
back to the Daichi. The X Divisor back to Daichi because the X Divisor gets corroded
from a Geysorg. Yeah, Zygorg.
Geysorg's from Sentai Smash Brothers.
All right. Oh my goodness, that's where he came from.
He's the embodiment of hell. He's the Sentai equivalent to hell. Let's make him red, and there you go.
But yeah, the X Divisor, Daichi's X Divisor gets corroded, so it leaves all of them like
Daichi can't transform because like X says, like as long as I'm corroded, we can't unite.
Yeah, so it kind of leaves like everyone defenseless in a way because like no Ultraman. How are we supposed to defeat this kaiju?
Mm-hmm.
And then I kid you not, the rest of the movie is nothing but a giant fight scene between like the Zeo members and Zygorg.
Mm-hmm.
I keep wanting to say Geysorg. I'm like, no, that's not him. But yeah. So they use all the other different cyber cards. Like they use Bemstar, they use Ella King, they use
King Joe,
Birdon.
Fucking, I saw Cyber Birdon, like the Cyber Birdon card, and I was like, oh my god, they actually somehow made him fucking look cool.
Oh no, he's cool.
Oh no, he's hot. And then just like so like another part we get like Carlos Kurosaki get like the kid like found some artifacts, and one of them being like the Tiga Spark.
Yeah,
and
or the Tiga Torch or whatever it's called.
Whatever the fuck it's called. So he so like Carlos Kurosaki is like obsessed with like this like orb that like he found.
Yeah, like the emerald that he found.
Yeah, so he starts like recording like a show. And then he like goes up to the producer, and he's got like sexy women like in dresses and stuff like with him while he's like talking about his show, and I'm just like, what the fuck, dude?
Giggity giggity.
So he goes up to like the producer or something like that. And he's like, so how are ratings? Pretty through the roof, huh? And he's like, actually, you're being beaten by like cute animals, and he's like, what?
And all the sexy ladies are watching like a Shiba Inu.
A Shiba Inu, like that means like dog.
Yeah.
So he's like, what the fuck? I'm being beaten by a dog. And I'm like. I'm just like, it's a pretty cute dog.
It is a cute dog.
So he's like really pissed off.
That's me in a nutshell. How are the Ultraranger ratings? We're being beat up by this. Oh.
Bongo Cat.
It's Bongo Cat.
Just have like Ultraman. Bongo Ultraman.
Shot. Shot.
Oh my god, that'd be an amazing thumbnail one time.
Shot.
There you go.
You know what, if we ever talk about Ultraman Neon.
There you go. Oh god.
Ultra Neon.
I still want that Ultraman Bear shirt.
Oh right, the Ultraman Bear.
It's the greatest fucking thing ever. And then just like the rest of this fucking movie is just one big ass fight.
Yeah,
like, they're just fighting this fucking kaiju for like, swear to God, like 45 minutes.
It does.
Because I don't know how long this movie was. I think it was like an hour.
This movie was an hour and 11 minutes.
Jeez, yeah. So for like, I swear to God.
Let's get rid of 5 minutes there because like the 5 minutes of just the introduction.
Mm.
Then like the hour and not the hour and a half, the minute and a half. Like, so it's roughly like an hour long movie.
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes of it is nothing but just nothing but introduction, and then the rest of it is just one giant fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I even felt, like, bored of it, kind of.
Yeah, there were some parts where I was just like, oh my god, it's still going. Like, come on.
Like, because nothing was really... It wasn't really that interesting.
Yeah. And, like, just, like, the mother keeps, like, fucking constantly, like, getting herself in trouble. Yeah, tripping, getting in trouble. Like, she loses her glasses at one point when there's, like, the crowd's, like, evacuating from the building. And then Carlos, almost being a complete piece of shit, like, it's going, like, what are you doing down there? And she's like, I'm stuck, I can't help. He's like, oh, well, like, you know, I just got my jewel. And he's, like, about to leave, and then he, like, goes to try to help her anyway, and I'm just like, you're a piece of fucking garbage.
But he pops his back.
Yeah, he pops his back, but then thankfully, like, Daichi shows up and helps, like, lift him out
of there. And then Yuto shows up as well, and she's all like, oh, what are you doing here? I'm here to help him out. Just picks up the entire steel beam and just chucks it off screen.
And everyone's just like wondering how the fuck he did that.
I hope my wire team is ready.
So then like the Tiga Spark, or what the fuck it's called, like forms fully.
The Tiga Spark.
Yeah, and then like
whatever it's called.
Yeah, and then like I guess Gowerman, he was like trying to like make like cyber cards of like, or he has cyber cards of the Ultraman that like they've encountered. So Genga, Victory, Max, Zero, and Nexus. So they had cards for all 5 of those Ultramen. And just so then the kid turns into Tiga.
Yeah, he transforms into Ultraman Tiga.
I thought that was weird. Like, I thought Tachibana turning into Nexus was fucking weird, but this was like, what?
It does feel a bit odd. Like, if you think of it one way, it feels odd that Tiga is here. Because...
Why?
I don't know.
It could have just been X teaming up with Ultraman. That would have been completely fine. Ultraman doesn't even say anything the whole fucking...
Well, it's because it's not really him.
Hayata.
I mean, if you think of it one way, it's like... this is just a random version of Ultraman from another dimension.
Yeah. He has no personality. He has no feelings.
He has no feelings.
All he knows is to save the galaxy. That's all he knows.
Shwash.
So then, like X gets they touch the Tiga Spark with the X Divisor, and then it calls Ultraman, and then
so the Emerald crystal itself was Ultraman in dormant, and that's how he joined the fight.
And they fixed the X Divisor, and X is like, oh, we can unite now, so he unites, and then
so now it's 3 Ultramen against 3 Kaijus, because while Zyborg, you trust me, you don't know how hard it is for me to just keep saying Geysorg.
I know, especially since that just happened recently.
Yeah, friggin' Zyborg. He summons out Antlar and Gozla. Gozla?
Ooh, Gozla.
Yeah, Gozla. And so it's 3 on 2, but then it's while they're fighting, which the fight scene is pretty cool. You get Tiga goes into his sky form and ground form. It's pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
Ultraman gets help from the rest of the Zeo team members, because he doesn't have forms.
Nope.
He doesn't have forms. He sucks.
Ultraman sucks.
Ultraman sucks.
But actually, no, he's the most powerful Ultraman of all of them.
It's the greatest Ultraman ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, for you personally, it's Safi, and for me personally, it's Belial, but...
You can't pick favorites.
Yeah.
Yes, Gar, that's the whole point of favorites.
Yeah.
But, it's so hard to actually remember what happens in this movie, because it's just one giant fight.
So, eventually, Zero and the others show up.
Oh yeah, because so Zyborg sends out different, he sends out some Tsurugi Damagas around the world, and it's oh no, what are we gonna do?
Oh no, Australia and fucking
Dallas,
okay. Texas.
So it's Cairo, Egypt,
Buenos Aires, Argentina, Chicago. Oh, I guess it was Chicago.
It was Dallas though. Geneva, Switzerland, and Shanghai, China.
There we go.
So yeah, but with Daichi and X being all oh, we should never give up hope and all that, the Ultraman and Ultraman Tiga Cyber cards finish automatically, in which Dr. Gorman sends them to Rui sends them to Daichi, and when he puts them into the X Divisor, they create the Beta Spark Sword, which makes Ultraman X transform into Ultraman Exceed X Beta Spark Armor form. Or what you guys called them before, Ultraman Orb.
Okay. I'm gonna say this is before you got me into super got me into Ultraman, so I kind of wasn't paying attention when we were talking about that story. So if now I'd go back to that episode, I'd be like, you fucking idiots! It's Ultraman X. It's not Orb.
But I keep saying, but with Daichi and X, with their hopes of never giving up and having a bright future, he actually calls upon. The cyber cards actually summon the actual Ultramen, so Zero attacks, or not attacks. So the 5 Ultramen being Zero going to China, Max is in Switzerland, Nexus is in Egypt, Victory is in Argentina, and Ginga is in Dallas. Welcome to Dallas.
Welcome to Dallas, bitch.
And they all defeat the Tsurugi Damagas, returning back to Earth, or returning back to Japan.
Welcome to Earth.
Welcome to Earth. And X changes the Beta Spark Sword into a bow and arrow configuration and unleashes the Beta Spark Arrow weapon, defeating Zyborg and saving everyone. Yeah,
and can I just say this fucking form that X got? The armor was fucking awesome.
Oh,
it looks so good.
I want it as a figure, man.
They'll make it. They're just gonna keep making these fucking accessory kits for him. It's gonna be awesome.
I hope so.
So I'm excited.
And yeah, the movie kind of slowly starts making its way to the end, where Zero, Ginga, Victory, Max, and Nexus all fly off in probably back to their home dimensions, and Daichi reverts back to normal, but Ultraman X is still there. Apparently, with all the light energy in the area, it allowed X to keep his physical form once again.
Yeah, and like X is just like, well,
I'm free.
I'm gone now, motherfuckers.
Bye.
See you
Now,
later.
the one thing that I remember from the dub that I saw when in theaters was X mentioned he was going back to rest on the Land of Light.
Mm-hmm.
Or he was returning back to the Land of Light with Ultraman. But apparently the actual reason he left was because now I must go on another mission. And in the actual movie, not the dub, it does feel like this is the end. It's like well, it was fun hanging around with you guys, but now I gotta go. My universe needs me, I think. Yeah. Just Ultraman. Shrugs. Shrug. Thanks, Dick. Yuto returns back to normal, having no memory of being Tiga.
No memory.
No memory whatsoever. And now they all just hang back at the base, being like, man, it's really quiet now. And then X comes immediately back. Why have a giant scene where it feels like where you're making everyone feel like, oh yeah, this is goodbye. Like everyone's saying farewell to X. If he's just gonna come back.
Yeah, I thought that was really fucking stupid.
Especially since it's like, if it was a time lapse, I wouldn't mind it as much, but it feels like it's the exact same day.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie kind of ends with like, oh, there's another disturbance in the universe. An alien named Destro's coming, and he's gonna attack Earth. Daichi, I need your help. All right, let's do it. In which, if you remember the Orb movie, you remember X got sucked up and into Orb's universe.
Yep.
Oops.
So I like how they kind of tied those in.
Mm.
So that was cool.
And that is the true ending of Ultraman X.
Yep, and thus Ultraman X is done. It's over, and I gotta say, this was a really good Ultraman series.
Oh.
I enjoyed it very much.
Would you say it is better than Ginga and Ginga S?
Yes, far better, because they did so many things better and right. Where they had a proper organization that, like, you know, it's based all around the world. We had like a large group of people who were in this organization. We got to learn more about these characters. We had like an alien scientist, which that I wasn't expecting. It was fucking awesome. Like Rui and Mamoru, they were fucking like such a fun pair, and like Rui especially. Oh, that was the other cute thing where like Zero fucking says like kind of like does like a thing at her, and just Rui just fucking like creams. She's just like, oh, Zero-san! And I'm like, oh god, she still likes him. So she has a fucking hard on for Zero.
Who wouldn't?
Zero's okay.
Yeah, it's alright.
0 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
But just, yeah, like the show just did so much right, and like, you know, the character, like Daichi, like we were just complaining like about Rube that like Katsumi and Isami just like didn't have any Dylan. Daichi did, like from episode 1 when he first became Ultraman X, he was terrified. He was like, "What? Need fight? No." By the end of this series, he was like, "No, let's fucking do this. Like we have to. I don't care if my life's on the line." And like he grew. He didn't give up on his dreams, didn't give up on his goals, and he still like wants to accomplish what he wants to do. And like it's great. And then like Asuna, she was a very strong female protagonist. She never showed weakness. She was always there for Daichi and like cared about him a lot. Like they never built a relationship like a romantic relationship with them, but it was kind of there. You could see it, like little hints.
Like maybe later down the road they probably did hook up.
Kamiki and Tachibana, like
both good captains,
fucking great leaders, and I'm glad we got episodes dedicated to both of them and learning a bit more about their history and like what goes on in their lives other than just them running this fucking base.
They're both parents.
And they care about their family very much. And it's just like, wow. X, like the other members, like Wataru, Hayato, like they were fun. Like I like that those two were just always together.
Yeah, because
you can't separate them.
They're like pilot and co-pilot.
Yeah, and like they worked super well
Shuwa
together.
and Han.
Yeah, exactly. And then like Dr. Garman, he was fun. He was a fun character.
Hey, I'm an alien. Well.
X himself was really cool. Like I really ended up really loving his design. Like it looks really really cool. His like the armors were cool. His like techniques were awesome. I like the whole X gimmick. Like I like that about him. It was really cool.
Oh, the whole cyber cards thing?
Yeah. Love the X divisor. Like honestly, that's like I think one of my favorite like Ultraman like transformation devices.
Which I'm hoping there is an Ultra replica coming out next year.
There's that with all the cyber cards.
I wouldn't doubt it would come with all the cyber cards.
I want it.
Like it just comes with all of them. Comes with new voice.
The X Spark Doll has like phrases of like him going like Daichi, like Unito, like you because like that's the like I looked up a review of the toy of the X Divisor, like the current one, and just like it just scans cards. That's all, and it doesn't have an on-off switch.
Ugh.
Like I said, yeah, you just like it's always on. So.
One of the cute things that I liked in the movie though is that they were all having sweets, and X mentioned to Austin about how much sugar and how much fat is in one's treat.
Touchbone just like walks in, just be like, "Guys shouldn't be eating in here," and they're like. And you just see Kamiki just sitting there like with one in his mouth, just be like.
He turns his head over just to finish it.
And then later on, she's like, they do it again. She's just like, yeah, what the fuck?
The world just came to an end. But no, it's just like, but no, when X was talking about like sugars and fats, what is Austin gonna do? Just flip him over. No. Hey,
what are you doing? X himself, like. He uses like as basic of an Ultraman as he can be, I guess. Mm-hmm. Which like that was his thing. Like he's just like defender of the universe. Well, whatever. Kind of wish we knew more about his origins.
Oh, you mean like a certain other character who was sentient and helped out the hero? As I slowly turned the Trideron to you.
Yeah, I think that's another thing that I kind of like. It had like a drive aspect to it. So I don't know. I like a transformation device with like a personality with like an AI in it, it's like super cool. I don't think any other like Ultraman's done that. No other like Kamen Rider's ever done that. I don't even know if Sentai's ever done that. No, I don't think they've ever had a changer that has like a mind of its own.
Well, it's because with Sentai, it's like you have 5 Rangers together. Where like with a Rider, I get Kiva. You had the Kivat.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, Kiva, that's one. But just, yeah, and like there's no core villain. Like each episode was kind of like episodic.
Which I feel like Orb was kind of the one that changed all that.
Just being like, no, we gotta have a villain. Because
like
we had in Gingas, we had Alien Exceller, but like
yeah,
but like he was Alien Exceller. And like the a lot of the kaijus were really cool. I wish we would have seen more cyber versions of them, like physically. That, but I understand it's like they're on a budget; they can't make new suits for every single one of them. That'd just be way too much money and be expensive. So
hey, at least they all got fully like with the Spark Dolls for the X line. I know they sorry, excuse me. I know for the X line of Spark Dolls, they all had a cyber card for each. So hopefully when they do release a Ultra Replica X Divisor, it comes with like every single card that they did make for the cyber cards.
But just, yeah, and like I loved Zeo as an organization. I think they're fucking awesome. I like that they're all global based. They have like cool tech. they made one of the coolest fucking things ever, the Ultra Laser. Like, that's such a fucking awesome gun.
It's a gun that turns into an Ultraman.
I still want that fucking gun. Someday I'll get that. And just, like, they were all cool. Like, I kind of can't take the whole, like, car turns into, like, a jet thingy. I can't take that seriously. I think that's dumb.
It just plugs in.
But X was a really good show. It took Genga's concept and made it better. And just, overall, I really, really loved this show. The movie was cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Felt like an extended episode.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, I recommend you watch Ultraman X, because like I remember when like the show aired, people were saying it sucked, and I was just like, really? Like, Ultraman X looks cool. Look, like I watched one episode and I thought it looked cool.
It's funny because that's what I thought as well when I finished Genga S the first time, and I was moving on to X, and I referred to it as when. And it's like now I'm moving on to what I've heard. That is the worst Ultraman series, and that was Ultraman X. A few people come back to messaging me being like, where did you hear it sucked? I'm like, oh, I just remember people didn't like it. And they're like, I actually watched it, and I'm like, no, this is really good. And then Orb happened, and
yeah, Orb happened, everyone's just like, oh, double S tier.
Who's your favorite Ultraman? Orb.
And then for me, it's just like, oh, next Ultraman, it's Belial's son. Well, I know what I'm getting myself into. So, but what do you think of X overall, Guy?
I think it was a pretty good series overall. It was back to basics for a lot of things, which
I think made it really good because it was back to basics.
It makes it stand out with from the other new generation hero series. It didn't have a storyline. Like, it had a main premise, but that was it. It didn't have a villain. It didn't have an overall storyline. It just, monsters are attacking, we need to go save it, and we show off a bit of the world while we're doing it.
And I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes any sense.
I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense. But I enjoyed it a lot, actually. I like how, it did remind me of Kamen Rider Drive a lot, especially with Daichi and X just being two separate beings that have to unite together to become one.
Yeah.
All the side characters I have no problem with. Everything that I said about Takara and Shiaki, I take all back.
Yeah, no, me too.
After realizing they're just the side character. After realizing they are just the singers, so they don't really do much.
Yeah, also the opening theme.
Yeah, the opening theme.
It's a kick-ass theme song.
Which reminds me, before I forget, the theme for the Ultraman X movie is just a remix version of the ending theme, but it is so good. Like, so good, I probably have it on my phone still. Because it's I feel like it's a better version of the ending theme, because it's more of a rock. Like there's just more bass to it than the actual show one. I liked all the crossovers that X decided to do. And yeah, it's pretty there's not really a whole lot to say about X. It was a good show.
Yeah, like it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So
I definitely enjoyed it a lot more on the second time around. And with that, Lane, we did it.
Yeah.
We now have watched every season of the new generation era until wherever the next season comes out.
Yeah, which I'm stoked to talk about.
Same.
Doing a whole episode of just like all the scans that we get. It's gonna be fun.
Which it's more shocking to think that if you include Zero with everything that we've watched, we've seen everything from the Ultra series from 2009.
10 years.
To now.
We've watched 10 years of Ultraman.
We've lost. We watched the last 10 years of Ultraman within a year and a half.
That's amazing. I'm proud of us.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Woo! That's like me when I watched like fucking like 10 years of Doctor Who in like a month.
That's not that bad.
But yeah, so next week we're going to just talk about the final episodes of SSSS Gridman. And then we're getting on to what me and Gar have been especially fucking excited to talk about.
Yes.
So we are going to dive into the original Ultraman series and Ultraman Tiga.
And I think it's very, it's a very nice conclusion of where we're ending Ultraman right now. Because with the X movie with being the Tiga and Ultraman crossover, and then the next shows that we're talking about are their shows. It's like we get to see the very first Ultraman series, or like the first Ultra season to have a Ultraman in it.
And like I'm thinking about this now. Now we'll be talking about the first Shuwa era Ultraman and first Heisei era Ultraman. Like
Took you that long to figure it out, though?
Yeah, right? So like, and also like, you know, it's the 30th anniversary series too. So, and I've been always wanting to watch Tiga.
Same. I've never seen I'm finally gonna be watching a show that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, so you and I get to experience it together, so that's gonna be fucking fun. Yay!
Yeah.
So we did it, everyone. We got through all the new Ultraman shit. There's still lots more to come. So now we'll be talking more about Ultraman's past, less present.
Yeah.
But eventually we'll talk about the future as well.
Well, by future we mean like future news and such.
Yeah, future.
And present as in like the current shows that are on, and then the past is like the one show from the past.
And we gotta watch that fucking Toei Kaiju movie.
Oh, Kaiju Ward Gallus?
Yeah, gotta watch that.
Yeah, that's subbed.
Okay. So anyways, everybody, thank you for joining us.
This was episode 74 of Kaiju Sentai UItraranger.
Ultraman X gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
It's a song. X gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you. That's gonna be Ultraman X gonna give it to you.
X gonna schwa to you.
Oh, there you go. I like that more.
X gonna schwa to you.
Yep.
Alright, everyone. Schwa for now.
Schwa for now.
Hey everyone, thank you for listening to this episode of Kaiju Sentai UItraranger. We appreciate your dedication to listening.
If you have an opinion on the news or shows we talked about, leave a comment down below. #comments for Lane.
If you want to check us out on other social media pages, you can check out our Twitter pages. As always, you can follow me at twitter.com/AutoGar.
You can follow me at twitter.com/Lane_.
For other pages, you can find my blog, Gar's Toku Blogs, on Facebook.com. And while you're on Facebook, why not give Radio Sentai Castranger a follow?
For older episodes of our shows, you can find them at castranger.podbean.com. And we also have some merch, such as t-shirts and bags, available at tpublic.com.
That's all for this exciting episode of Kaiju Sentai UItraranger. Until next time,
Schwa for now!